Hello, everyone. LJ Young. I'm back again. How are you guys today? Just setting up. Got to set up this. Make sure you guys can, so I can hear you. Just in case if I get any text messages during, or not text messages, messages during the live broadcast. 1 second here. See if I can get to this. Here we go. Cool, cool. All right. Welcome back. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see. And when I say financially see, I mean, once for the first 40 years of my life, I was totally blinded in fear because I was in debt. And I didn't really realize I was living that way because the majority of the population lived the same way I did. So I just thought it is what it is. That's the way it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. And the only way I can become free from it, is to win a lotto or somehow score a high-paying job was going to free me. But logically, I knew, like if I used to drive downtown. I live in Seattle, Washington. Drive downtown, see these high-rise condominiums overlooking the water or houses, $1 million houses, knowing logically in my brain that my job was never going to get me those items. Not saying that I even wanted them, okay? Don't just to be able to drive through, just to be able to drive through and say I can buy that if I want to. You know what I'm saying? And that's it doesn't make who I am. I'm just saying, I knew my job wasn't going to get me that. All right, but I I believed that I just couldn't do anything about it. I didn't know, and I'm gonna show you. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna let you into my mind of the way debt free has changed my mental state. It has totally changed it. I mean, to a whole different level. Not only because I'm debt free, that was the that was the trigger for me that that changed my whole mental state. Now, I the weird thing is that I didn't even know that it was going to do that. I just knew something was wrong in my life, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I just couldn't put my finger on why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And I could and then I accidentally, long story short, because I don't want to get into too deep into it, I one day I was trying to get a loan for something, right? And I was denied. And this is the first time I ever been denied because I have always made good money. I've always had good credit, never missed bills, blah blah blah, right? But they told me no. That was the trigger. Now they told me debt to income ratio, right? But I understood what they meant by that. But I stopped and thought, wait a minute, credit system. You guys got me here. You allowed me to keep borrowing. As long as you said I can long as I keep my credit good, you always let me borrow money. And then once I reached a point to where you allowed me to do it, you said no. I said, wait a minute, something's wrong here. I followed all the rules, but you're telling me no. That was the trigger for me. Once I understood this, then I went and figured it out, became debt free, blah, blah, blah. But this is the next level that I'm sharing with you. It has changed who I am. Now I understand the gift, not only the gift that I'm sharing with you, I want you to understand the gift of debt free is the gift of now understanding how the system truly works. And it's so obvious. But the reason why it's so obvious, because I'm debt free. I paid the price. And the price is add up all your debt. That is the price of your freedom. If you don't believe you can pay that off, then you'll never be free. You'll always be a slave. Whether you know it or not is totally irrelevant. Math doesn't care about people's feelings. And this is not nothing personal. Math, and if you're taking it personal, if you're feeling like that, catch that. Catch that. That's a sign. You got to stop and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Math says it to be true. It really is that simple. Okay. So I wrote down a few things I wanted to share with you. Like I said before, money is not real. It's a mental state. It only holds the value that you believe it holds, okay? And I know it's what I'm saying is hard to understand, especially if you're trapped in the debt matrix. The debt matrix is a place where everybody believes in credit and debt. I was trapped there for years. I'm out of that now. And now I fully understand that money is just a tool. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's just a tool. And money is spoken in two languages, debt and debt free. If you've been in debt all your life, you only speak debt. I promise you. Once you step out, now I speak both languages. It's like the sides of a coin. I always say this. The consumer side of credit, the business side of credit, and the edge. This is where I live now, the edge. I can see both sides. Like money scams and all that stuff, that's only targeted to people in debt. Money scams they're designed to bring up the fear in people. And all they got to do, these people that bring up these scams, that make these scams up, they're not doing anything spectacular or sophisticated. They're not. All they got to do is create enough fear in you to where you believe this fake check is real, or they're going to give you some money for nothing. It's really pretty obvious. And the most people that are doing that, they're probably in the same debt situation because they're not taking scammed money and paying off their own debt. They're just taking that scammed money and doing whatever with it. And then one day it just stops. They believe it's going to go on forever. Then one day it's going to stop. And this is where the mental mind state comes in, okay? Just believe it to be true. It is true. Like energy attracts like energy. So if you're out scamming people, deceiving people, those scammers are attracting that energy. Something's coming. They're bringing the police. They're bringing other scammers that are smarter than them. Whatever. It attracts them. One day it's going to end. But as long as they believe that it's going to be forever, they can keep doing that. Whatever. Math says otherwise. Math says, one day it's going to stop. This becoming debt free has engaged another part of my brain. I understand now that debt free and understand the system is the gift itself. It's a gift. Now, what I'm sharing with you, you have to be ready to hear it. Now, it's crazy. And those of you that follow me, I want you to realize I'm going to say some things that it's so obvious, but people still won't hear you. Why? Because they're not ready to hear it. It's not, don't be like, don't call people stupid for not knowing. How can they not see this? Just remember, you were there once, just like I was. They just can't see it. And until something happens to make them trigger them to open their eyes and say, wait a minute, and start looking around, that's the only time it's going to happen. Otherwise, you gotta zip your mouth. You just don't tell them, just show them how you live. I show people how I live. And I'm going to share with you guys a few things that I do, that I understand now. I can do anything I want in the world. Anything. I can be anything I want. I didn't know that when I was in debt. Debt changed my mindset. Once I changed my mindset, you understand. I'm going to give you a few examples. You ever notice, say like you're in a relationship, right? And you break up. You ever notice you can no longer eat. You have no appetite. You barely have an appetite for water, but let alone food. Oh no, you ain't even thinking about that. Now remember, nothing physically changed about you. It's just your mind. Your mind says you're not hungry. Guess what? You're not hungry. And then say like you get back together with that person, you worked everything out, then your hunger comes back. Now you're hungry like normal and everything. It's almost like your brain shuts that off and say, we're so focused on this breakup, I ain't got time for other stuff, right? And then once it's fixed or whatever, you reunite. Now it engages back everything else in your body. Now you're hungry again. How is that possible? Nothing physically changed you. But yet you're hurt during the breakup, but once it's over, you're okay. But nobody physically hit you, nobody punched you in the stomach, nothing. That's an example of how powerful this is. And one more example so you can understand The mental state, how powerful the mind is. Okay? Now, if you're in a crowded stadium, you're sitting in a seat, you're paying attention to whatever the event you went to, right? And then all of a sudden in the middle of it, something stops you and say, wait a minute, I feel like somebody's staring at me, right? And there's a crowd of people behind you. You turn around and somebody goes. Sure enough, they were staring at you. How did you know they were staring at you? They didn't throw anything at you. They didn't hit you on the head or nothing. But yet you turned around and saw them go like this, right? And here's another thing you probably never noticed. There's a crowd of people behind you. Yet you turn around and focus in right to that person. How did you know to do that? You didn't turn around and go, who was staring at me? Who was that? You turn around, boom, you stare right at the person. How did you know that? These are things that we don't even pay attention to. Energy, attraction, negative energy attract. That's how it works. But yet everybody knows this to be true, but nobody can explain how that works, right? But yet it's true. That's how powerful. My mind is opened up like that now. That's how it works. Okay, now, when I say it changed, becoming debt-free has allowed me to see how our system truly works. And if you understand the system, it will work in your favor. It's not bad. Taxes are not bad. The government's not doing anything to you. It's a ripoff or what. It's only like that if you don't understand the system. Now I understand the system. None of that stuff is bad. None of it. Now, because I understand it, taxes can actually make you rich. They can. I know doesn't that sound crazy? Oh man, taxes are the one bringing me down. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's the backbone of this system. Have you ever noticed how taxes, tax evasion, it's very they come down you hard. You can go to prison for that. You ever see why? You never take the time to. I never took the time to understand why is that so strict. How come I can owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to student loan debt, but I can't owe that same amount of money to the taxes, to IRS, to the taxes? You know why? Because it's the backbone of the system. If that system broke and if they allowed people to continue to cheat it, the whole system would break. No different than the spine in your body. If the spine in your body broke, you couldn't do nothing. It's the exact same way. But you got to take the time to understand the system. And the only way you must pay the price of admission. And the price of admission is the total debt that you have in your life. That's the price of admission. If you believe you can't do it, you'll never see how that works. So now I'm going to go to like products. All right. And it's how the system works. And all it is a belief. Now, example, say like Gucci. Let's say like a Gucci purse, right? A Gucci purse, let's say a Gucci purse that runs $3,000, okay? Logically, and I'm going to show you in my mind so you guys can just hear it. Now, if I walked into a Gucci store and I saw a purse for, let's go $5,000. That's still cheap, right? $5,000. I logically know that purse did not cost $5,000 to make. That's impossible. It didn't cost $5,000 to make. It doesn't matter. Gucci made people believe that purse is worth $5,000. And that purse is only worth $5,000 to other people that believe it's worth $5,000. That's it. It's not worth $5,000 to me. Now, people that believe it, if they heard me say this, they would look at me and say, oh, he's just saying that because he can't afford to buy it. That's what they believe. Knowing they have zero knowledge about my finances. Zero. Absolutely nothing. But yet they instead of turning and saying, yeah, he's right. That purse is not worth $5,000. But they would say, he's saying that because he can't afford it. That's not true. But yet if they believe it, they believe it. And this is all you got to do is to prove it. Okay? Go buy that purse for $5,000 plus tax. People always leave off tax when they talk about buying something. I have no idea why they do that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. IRS gets their money, taxes, blah, 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 right? Without even taking the purse out the bag or whatever it comes in, without even taking it out, buy it plus tax, bring it out the store, don't even open it. Put it up for sale and see if you get that exact amount back for that purse that you bought. If it's worth that much, and if you believe it's worth that much, you should be able to get the exact amount that you paid for in the store. I guarantee you, you will not. And you didn't even open it, use it. You can tell people anything. I didn't use this. It's still in the packaging. Yet I want full price. They're gonna say, nope, I'm not paying full price for that. But yet they'll walk in the Gucci store and pay full price. Why is that? Because that's what they believe. It's a mental state. I'm telling you. It's a mental state. Who says that purse is worth $5,000? Gucci. I want to know, hey Gucci, how did you make people believe that purse is worth $5,000? They put in hard work, marketing, all this good stuff. I get it. Now when I say Gucci, I'm not downing them. I'm not calling them mean for doing what they're doing. It's business. Never mix your feelings with business. I never do that. I admire what they do. That's remarkable. Here's another example. A brand new Cadillac Escalade, $70,000, $80,000. Who says it's worth $70,000, $80,000? Cadillac says it. Cadillac says it's worth $80,000. Me personally, I don't care what Cadillac says. I'm not paying that. But yet, all they got to do is get people to believe that it's worth that, and then people go around bragging that it's worth that. It's not true. They obviously get it. They get it for whatever price they get it. They're going to make a profit. You finance it, yet people go around, even though they're financing it, they go around and tell people that they paid this much for this truck, this Cadillac Escalade, knowing that they didn't. Plus tax. Financing money that doesn't even exist. You get it? It's a mental state. Money is not real. It's a tool. So if you go finance $70,000, $80,000, that means you don't have the money. The person didn't have the money to actually pay for it in cash. So the money doesn't exist. So they finance. So they're financing plus tax on money that doesn't even exist. You get it? I didn't see that when I was in debt. Didn't see it. I was just like that. I was going around bragging, hey man, this truck cost $70,000, $80,000. Like I paid cash for it, leaving off the tax, $70,000, $80,000 plus tax. Why? I don't know. I was doing just like everybody else. That's all. I just thought it is what it is. Letting you into my world more. All right? And I want you to, this is for an example to show you what's possible. Okay? I was a computer engineer for 20 years. You know, you always hear about the cloud and things of that nature, right? I was that person. I designed it, made it work, blah, 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 right? And I did that for 20 years, okay? Not the cloud, but just in computers. The last 3 to 5 years, I was in cloud computing, right? And I made 6 figures. All right, now in my mind, 6 figures is a lot of money. Right? Why I was leaving off my tax bracket, I don't know, because I really didn't make 6 figures. If I go in my tax bracket, I wasn't even, You always hear, the more you make, the more they take. I always heard it, but never paid attention to it. The trigger for me was when I finally reached over that 6-figure mark, I was waiting for that first check, and it wasn't as much as the previous check. That was the light moment in my mind. I was like, what? Yeah. I crossed over to the next tax bracket, and then that's what triggered me to understand taxes and blah, blah, blah. But that's not my point. I want you to understand that 6 figures was programmed in my mind to make it seem like it was a lot of money. Once I quit my job 3 years ago, I understand that 6 figures is not a lot of money, minus taxes. It's not. I was just made to believe that it was. And when I say made to believe, I mean, you hear it on TV, you hear it from people. Oh man, that person makes 6 figures. He's making 6 figures. She's making 6 figures. It's a program. It was being programmed in my mind that 6 figures was a lot of money. That computer engineering was me. My job was me. Never once did I stop to say, who am I without that job title? Who am I without that 6-figure income? Never once did I stop to think that. Now I know who I am outside of that, but I had to realize that once I stepped away from that environment. And the only way I could step out of that environment was to become debt free. I was in fear. Debt was causing me fear to step away from it. I was fear of losing all the stuff I had, though I didn't own anything. Everything was financed. But yet, if I quit that six-figure job, I was going to lose everything. Not even realizing I own nothing. How did the banks do that? I don't know. But it's psychologically. I do know now. It's just psychological. I'm not bad-mouthing the banks. They're brilliant. But it's the power of the mind. And it's so simple. I'm going to give you the master formula that will change your life forever. The master formula that will help you create riches, to help you become wealthy. Savings minus debt equals the money you have in real life. So if you ever trying to calculate if you can afford a car, a house, furniture, TV, blah, 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 all you got to do is this. Add up all your savings minus your debt equals how much you have to buy this item. If that number is in the negative, you can't afford it. It's that simple. Now at that point, you say to yourself, this is what I had to say to myself. If I want that item, I have to borrow the money. Linnell is about to finance a depreciating object with interest. That's what I was saying. That's what I had to say to myself. I had to be real. My mental state has totally changed. I look at things totally different. They're not even the same. It's just stuff, depreciating stuff. And the only value it holds is what I give it and what other people like me give it. People that value that kind of stuff, that's what it means it's worth that much to them. Here's another thing that I could not see. I call it phantom income, but now it just totally 100% makes sense to me. All right. Now you always hear, like recently I was looking at an article and it said the average car note is the monthly car note is like $500+ per month. Okay. Now I want you to understand that the average, when you hear the key word is average, right? There are millions of people that make up the average. They all live in here, the average. Now that I'm debt free, I'm no longer average because I can see, right? And this is how to make more money than the average without even working. Tax free. I'm gonna show you how to do it. If the average car note is $500 per month, if you pay for a car in cash, you're now making $500 per month more than the average. Millions of people, millions of people, you're making $500 more per month than the average. You add that up per year, whatever that adds up to, that's how much more you're making per year than the average. Isn't that so simple to see? Why? I could not see that when I was in debt and in fear. I couldn't see it. The average student loan per month, $393 per month. You pay your student loan off, now you make $393 per month more than the average, which makes up of millions of people. Those two items alone will set you apart from the average. It's that simple. Phantom income, it's real, people. Believe me, it's real. The average phone bill is $150 a month. If you find a plan, which is I'm on a plan. I actually pay $30 a month, but I'm gonna just use 50 to make nice round numbers. If the average phone bill is $150 per month plus tax, usually those plans have all these taxes and stuff in them. The other plans, the plan I'm on, it's already built in. If you pay $50 a month, you make $100 more per month than the average. Those three items set you already apart from all those people. And then you add your job on top of that you're making money? Oh God, man, you have no idea how fast your money will stack in your bank account. I kid you not. Let me tell you guys this. I kid you not. Once I became debt free, you have no idea how fast, 1 year, how fast money stacked in my bank account when I didn't have all that stuff. I reduced my expenses, and I created more phantom income, separating myself from the average. I would look for all that stuff. Who's paying? Anytime I heard that on the news, hey, the average person is paying this, I would figure out a way to pay half that. It's out there. You just got to find it. I do that for people. I find it. I show them. I give you my experiences how to do it, and you will live the exact the same way, exact same services as the average, but paying half or even less than half. Nobody will know. They won't even believe you. You can even tell people this, they still won't believe you. That's how powerful this is. It's mental. One more personal thing in my life. For example, once I became debt free, I now understand that time is the most valuable thing, the most valuable commodity on earth. You can't even get more of it. Now I let nobody waste it. Now I realize when I go back to my job, which was salary, I was making $160,000 a year, minus taxes, okay? So don't get hung up on the money. I'm not even saying it to be bragging. I'm just telling you. Because once you get out of the debt matrix, you'll find that $160,000 a year is not nothing. It's not really a lot of money. I just believed it was, okay? I just love saying it. Oh, yeah, I make 160. I'm this and no, don't even. Anyway, once I got out of that, I forgot where I was going with this. Crap, I hate it when I do that. Oh, okay. Now, I realized that how much of my time I was giving away to my job, right? Because I had a feeling like, hey, be a team player, this and that. And team player, it translates into do things off the clock makes you a team player. Now, doing things off the clock, that's a feeling, okay? You're giving away the time. What you're really saying is this. What team player means work for free so you can advance. Give away the time in your life for free so you'll look good. No, I'll show up my job skills. I don't have a regular job. I don't have a traditional job, but I'm saying I wouldn't even fit back into a 40-hour work week. That sounds like prison to me now. Anyway, today, the contract I signed, hey, you're paying me X amount, 40 hours a week, period. Nothing more, nothing. If they even hinted to work off the clock for free, check emails, I did all that. My phone was an electronic leash. Any ding, I was scared to leave my phone away. If I left my phone downstairs and I went upstairs to watch TV, I would pop up out of bed. Oh my God, let me go down and get my phone. I might have got an email. Why was I doing that? I didn't know. I was trapped in the debt matrix. Today, if I was to get a job now, I would have 2 separate phones because I always brag like my job would pay for my phone. I was like, ooh, yeah, I don't have to pay for my phone. My job paid for my phone. Not realizing my job is a business. You know why they're paying for my phone? So they can have 24-hour access to my life. But I didn't know that at the time because I was stuck on them paying for my phone bill. I was just happy that I didn't have to pay. I did not know how much I was really giving up in my life. The time in my life, I was giving it away for free. We had on-call rotations for a week. They would call me outside of the on-call rotation all the time. And let me give you this example real quick so you know. I remember I would get calls in the middle of the night when I wasn't on call. And I would get up and answer that call and get online and do whatever I needed to do to fix the problem, whatever it was, right? But the minute I would pop up, there was a feeling in my mind. It's very brief and you got to catch it. Something that says, wait a minute, that's not right. You're not on call. Why are they calling you? I was feeling like I'm not even supposed to be waking up right now. Turning over to my girlfriend or my wife at the time, talking about, seeing her face, getting upset. Oh man, they're calling you again. And you know what I would turn to and say to her? Oh, it's my job, baby. What am I supposed to do? There's nothing I can do about it. Yes, there was. Not answer the phone. Turn it off. And talk to them in the morning. Hey, I saw that you guys called last night. What are you guys doing calling me? I'm not on call. Are we renegotiating my contract? Are we doubling my salary? Because if I agree and we double my salary, I'll answer the phone all day and all night. But unless that happened, the original contract said I'm working 40 hours a week This is what you're giving me, period. Nothing personal. It's not even personal, it's business. As soon as you feel your feelings getting involved, you're getting upset at the manager, he's talking to you a certain way, those are feelings. You got to nip that in the bud. Stop that right away. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you talking to me like that? Let's have a meeting. Email the boss, hey, let's have a meeting. I don't like the way you talk to me. I don't like you calling me on my day off. I don't like you calling me during my kid's birthday. I had this plan for months. Now you guys are interrupting me. You can't do that. But to say that if you're in debt, you're scared to say that because you're scared you're going to get in trouble. Now I'm going to say it in a way so you can understand what I'm saying. What are they going to do? What are they going to write you up for? Because you didn't answer the phone on your day off? I would love to see a manager or boss write that up and sign their name on that. Please sign your name on it. Oh man, I'm writing him up because he didn't answer his phone on his day off. Please do it. And if I came in the next day and the boss said, hey, we called you last night, how come you didn't answer your phone? I was off. What do you mean? What do you mean, how come I didn't answer my phone? What the hell are you talking about? What? I would have two phones. As soon as I walked out the business, I would power it off. Boop. It's off. Not my personal phone. And I never forget this. I remember I was talking to an older gentleman when I was working. And I was asking, hey man, you got the business, did you get the business to pay your cell phone bill? He was like, nope. I'll pay it myself. And the way he said it, at the time, I thought he was crazy. I was like, why would he miss that kind of money? You know, why would he miss? But now when I think back, I understand why he was doing that, because he understood that the business was not going to govern his life. It's a mental state. You don't allow it. You do not allow it. You go to this job. You do the best of your performance of what you are. You show them with your work. Because when you're happy and stress-free, you are awesome at your job. And especially if you like it. If you like your job and you're good at it, it will show. That's all you need to do. You need to walk in, do your job, do it good. The business will know that you're good because that's the reason why they're calling you. You say, oh, hey, business, do you think I'm that good? Yeah, you're going to pay me. If not, find somebody else. Now, personally, this is what debt-free has given me. It has changed my mental state. I don't think the same way I did 5 years ago. Not even close. I'm not even the same person. Not even the same person. Now, I met a woman. I live in Seattle, Washington. She lives in South Carolina, which I'm here now. I'm here in South Carolina. Now, I don't have a job, and I'm not rich. Okay? Now, at first, when I met, I was like, that's impossible. Why would I even entertain the idea of even having a conversation with her? It'll never happen. She lives across the country, right? But now, yet, I made up my mind and said, that's what I'm going to do. Now, I come to see her every other month and stay a month. Now, if somebody would have told me that years ago, I would have said, that's impossible. You can't do that. You have to be rich to do that. You have to be totally rich to do that. All I had to do was make up my mind and believe it would happen, and it happened. It's a beautiful thing. They would say, you would go broke doing that. Not even close. All I had to do was make up my mind and say, this is what I'm going to do, and I did it. Impossible, huh? No, he must be rich. He must be getting something. No. That's debt. That's the mental state telling you that it's impossible. I'm not an alien. I'm telling you that I'm showing you and telling you that it's possible, but yet something in most people's brains say, no, there got to be another way. He's not telling us something. I understand. I get it. That's exactly what I would have said in my previous mindset. Today, I'm totally different. I help people that are ready to hear me. And at first I was so excited to saying, hey, everybody, all you got to do is become debt free and you'll be free. You know, just like finding a new religion. You know, I was one of those dudes. I had to take a step back and say, I can't force it down anybody's throat. They got to be ready. They got to feel the experience of I had to remember that something had to bring me to the state Something had to bring me here. Once I was here, like I knew something was missing, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Once now that I'm here, I'm free. Now it's so obvious. I think back and now, how in the world could I ever had thought about becoming rich or wealthy if I didn't see that I was in debt? And all I had to do was get out of the debt matrix and stop being afraid of how much debt I had. Add it up. I added it all up. I looked at that number and said, damn, I did that. And then I had to take a step back and say, if I want to be free, that is the ticket of admission. That is the price of my freedom.